Hi, this is Peter McLaughlin. If you've ever tried to do a past life regression video or a Meet Your Spirit Guide video and you haven't been successful, then this tool may help you. This is called a pendulum. And the pendulum is part of a category of tools called ideomotor tools or ideomotor responses. So if you've ever heard of automatic writing or you've heard of kinesiology or muscle testing, these are just other ways of bypassing your conscious mind and getting to a deeper part of you. A part of you that you may think of as your intuition. You may think of it as what your heart tells you or what your gut tells you. It may be the part of you that you think of when you say, hey, I have a huge decision to make, let me sleep on it. If you unpack that statement, what you're really saying is, let me become unconscious, because when I'm unconscious, I often access a source of wisdom that is greater than that I have during my waking day. And I wake in the morning with the perfect answer to my problem. Well, this is just a tool to help you get to that same place. And today I'm going to be teaching you how to use this specifically so you can identify if you have a block to doing a past life or you have a block to meeting your spirit guide. Now, a block would just be something that essentially puts up a wall between you and having that experience. And why your unconscious mind would do this, largely speaking, would be to protect you, because it thinks you're going to be going and doing something or learning something that will be scary or somehow threatening to your ego. The other reason this could be happening is because on some level, consciously or unconsciously, you have disbelief. You just don't believe it. And that sometimes can block people too. Now, if you know that you have a block, the next step is we can begin to work on releasing that block. So let me show you how to use this thing. You don't need something super fancy like this. All you really need is a string. In this case, it's a chain that's about 6 to 8 inches long, and then something heavy at the end. So it could literally be a string or a piece of twine with a nut or a washer at the end, or sometimes different pieces of jewelry would make this work, like a necklace. You also want to rest your elbow on something because it can become fatiguing to keep your arm up in the air. And plus, it's harder to keep your hand steady and still unless you have it resting on something. So I use it on my knee. My intention is to keep my hand as steady as possible. You can put this hand here. Sometimes it's easier to see the motion of the pendulum when you have the contrast of the palm of your hand, but it's not necessary. First thing I want to do is go through a process I would call calibration. That's to determine what is my yes, what is my no. And then thirdly, I want to know what my maybe is. And that is, which way is the pendulum moving to indicate those three options. So the first thing I'm going to do is just look at this part of the pendulum, think in my head, show me yes. And I'm going to repeat that over and over again in my head until this pendulum begins to move. Show me yes. So for me, you see this pendulum moving in this clockwise direction. Other people may have a different motion, and that's all fine. So I can make it stop just by thinking stop. Show me no. For me, I get this counterclockwise motion. And again, other people could get different motions, and that's all just perfectly fine. And it's actually part of the calibration process. Third one is show me maybe. I get this back and forth motion. Now, maybe is important because sometimes you may ask a question that doesn't have a perfect yes answer and it doesn't have a perfect no answer. Like sometimes it's yes and sometimes it's no. In that case, you may see a maybe answer, and that gives you an indication that you have to dig down deeper and ask more accurate questions, let's call it. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to ask questions I already know the answers to see if they're consistent with what I now know to be my yes clockwise and my no counterclockwise. Am I a man? Cool, got a yes. Next question is it a good idea for me to eat cyanide tonight? Also very cool, got a no. And you might have seen that that pendulum began moving even before I finished the sentence. And that's clearly because my thoughts move a lot faster than I can get the words out. Next question as part of this calibration that I want to go to is this a good time for me to ask questions and receive accurate answers? Got a yes. If I had gotten a no to that one, the first thing I would want to do is take 3 fingers and just tap my thymus or my breastbone lightly, maybe 10 or 15 times. Ask the question again. often that will clear that answer. You'll go from a no to a yes because it has the effect of calming down the emotions. If you still have a no, don't move forward and ask questions because all of your answers will be distorted or wrong. Next question I would ask is my higher self controlling this pendulum now, fully and completely for my greatest and highest good? Again, if I got a no to that or a maybe, I don't think I would want to go further because the questions would be distorted or somehow messed up. And I may do another video on that one, but for now we'll keep moving on. Okay, so now that you've got your pendulum calibrated, you can ask the questions that pertain to doing a past life regression or meeting your spirit guide. So you could say something like, is it in my highest and best interest to meet with my spirit guide today? Got a yes. Could ask the same question for doing a past life regression. Are there any blocks to me having a successful past life regression session? Gotta know. That means I probably have a clear sailing ahead of me. I can probably do this. If I had gotten a yes to that question, that I do have blocks, I would now want to know what kind of block do I have and start drilling deeper into the answer for that to see if I could clear the block. So I could ask, is the block a block that's based upon fear? I'm getting a maybe because I don't think I have a block based on fear. But if I had a block based on fear, I could now ask questions, what is that fear based on? Is the fear based on going back in time to a traumatic incident? Is it something I'm afraid of that I may learn that I did? Something that was done to me? Something that may threaten my ego? As you get deeper into this, you can also ask the question, if I set aside this fear temporarily, will I be able to have a successful past life experience? Oftentimes, people will get a yes to that answer. And then you can say, kind of out loud, I set aside my fear based on this past life regression for the next hour. I set aside this fear for the next 2 hours. Now go do that experience and see if it's successful. It also could be based on disbelief. So if you ask the question, do I have a block to doing past life regression because on some level, conscious or unconscious, I don't believe it's possible, and you get a yes to that, you could also say the same thing. If I set aside this disbelief for the next hour or 2 hours, can I have a successful past life experience? You get a yes, now you can move forward. You can also ask questions about the actual video that you're thinking about watching. So you could say, should I watch, is it in my highest and best interest to do this past life regression video by BlueSky Hypnosis? If you get a yes, great, go forward with it. If you get a no, ask about another one that I've done. If you get a no to that one, ask about a different creator and keep moving forward until you get a yes hit. So this is an extremely powerful tool that you can use to clear blocks. Clearly, you can use it in other parts of your life as well. If you have any questions, please write in on the comments section and I will try to answer those questions for you. Maybe even make another video if something in this one isn't clear or isn't complete. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, please share it, please hit the bell notification icon, all of those good things, and we'll see you in the next video. And good luck.